Hey, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. A little late night. Wow, it's not that late, is it? 10 to 9. Okay, well, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Now, isn't it funny? It's a funny thing about people. You know, when I came out from Florida, I had to leave behind practically everything that I cared about in terms of possession. I love to collect things which are of historical interest. I love to, things which are, especially tools and things which at one time would have been commonplace, but because of their age and antiquity, they are of great interest, and I would love to have those things. I used to have a huge two-handed saw, and it was a wonderful thing to me. Of course, it was a rusty old thing by the time I got it, because it was probably 150 years old for all I knew. But I used to enjoy that kind of thing, and my workshop would be a place of great interest and joy to me. Well, as I said, I got rid of all of that stuff, and I got rid of all of the little possessions that you get loaded up on. You call it my stuff. That's what people call it. It's called my stuff. Well, I got rid of my stuff, but people just can't leave you alone, can they? They give you stuff. They give you new stuff, and so that's what's been happening. And every so often, in a box, in among all of the totally practical, useful, wonderful things that people have sent us in way over 40 boxes now that we've had, there are some things which I've come to accept are my stuff again. See what I mean? People can't leave you alone. Well, what prompted this little video about stuff was something that I got from David in Japan. And in Japan, I don't know whether you know, it's not that I know a great deal about this kind of art, but I am familiar with it as an artist myself. I draw and paint, and I'm not bad either. And mainly sculpting is my thing. And I worked for a company in the US that made replicas of some of the wonderful things that you see in movies. What comes to mind would be the lightsaber in Star Wars. Well, believe it or not, you can buy a lightsaber. In fact, there's a very funny story attached to that, because in the movie you can actually see the devastating stuff that a lightsaber can do. It can slice through all kinds of things. In fact, there was a place that you could go to in LA, I think in the Valley, and it may have been, was it Burbank? It had a spaceship, a UFO, flying saucer, that was crashing into the top of the building, and you could see the top half of it jutting out of the building. Special effect. So inside it had a few things from the 50s, but one of the things that it had was a World War II Jeep, and the Jeep had been sliced in two with something like the lightsaber. Well, one of the customers, a happy customer, if slightly confused, the company that I work for received was a letter from a lady who was very delighted with the lightsaber that she had bought, and she said, "I just think the workmanship is just so incredible. It feels heavy to the hand. It really feels like it's supposed to." And the only thing is, and I'm not complaining, she said, the only thing is I can't work out how to switch it on. And then she said, "Will it really cut a Jeep in half?" So, so sometimes people can come up with very strange things that they ask. But in that time, I saw a lot of different art, and one of the kinds of art that I saw that I used to enjoy was manga. And you may not know that you are familiar with manga art, but you will be if you have children who watch cartoons, because cartoons come in manga form in many different shows. Plus, a lot of the artwork that is done, the computer imaging, that's based in manga art. And so I want to show you a piece that was sent to me by David, and it is a beautiful piece. And because I don't know this particular character, and yet I assume that it might well be a character with a name, I can't read the Japanese on the box, which unfortunately my wife insisted on opening, and she doesn't know that the box is an important part of collecting something, and so she almost destroyed it, as you will see, regretfully. But she didn't know. So what you're looking at is the box, and yes, it's sorry, but it's been, well, I am sorry it's been destroyed. But this is manga art. You can see the huge eyes. That's all a part of this particular thing about manga art. And there is possibly I hate to be so ignorant, but that's the name that's on the box. Now, it may be that Mio Akiyama is this girl. And in silhouette at the back, you have what looks like a girl band. So maybe it's a band, and I may be making a laughing stock of myself here, but I'm doing it with the best of intentions. This is what the box looks like. Now, that little piece has got so much incredible detail, but of course you might say, well, of course it's just a painting, isn't it? Well, it's not. This is the actual piece. Now it clips on. Let me show you it, the whole thing. There's the whole thing, and not particularly well presented, by the way. Should be on a white background, but it's on my messy desk, which is still messy, even though I promised myself I'm going to tidy it up. But there you have. Now that comes in one, it comes in 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, counting the base as one piece, and they're in tiny little pegs, and they all fit together. And actually there are a couple of others. There's the cable for the guitar, and there's also a strap that holds the guitar on. Now, if you look at the detail, someone actually sculpted this, and I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can do it without destroying. Look, there's my hand. Look. That's how big it is. It's about 8 inches, maybe 9 inches. So it's done to an actual scale. But all of the hair is all splayed out like that, flying. So the piece is actually in motion. And if you look at that tiny little face, that tiny little face is about 1 inch. Really beautiful. And there's a scarf at the breast and a shirt and jacket. And all of that is all put together. Beautiful hands. Look at the tiny little hands. Where am I? Now, it's not that I'm a guitarist, but I'm looking at that guitar, and that looks like a Fender. And that paint is even authentic. That's I think that's what they call a sunburst paint, but no doubt some guitarists will put me straight on that, but I think that's the sunburst finish. And look at the tiny little frets. All of the frets are actually really frets. And there's the tuning machine heads. And it really is beautiful. Look at that hand that's on the guitar itself. Now, the reason I think that this may well be a particular character is because she's playing the guitar the opposite way around. She's playing it left-handed, like Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney was a left-handed player, and she's playing that left-handed. And she's got that slightly knock-kneed, pigeon-toed look that young girls often have. My daughter used to stand like this. And look, the folds. You've got the folds on the jacket, and that little necktie type of ribbon there. Sorry, I'm so busy. My camera work is not very good. I'm so busy looking at the piece itself, and actually I see that this has come off, so the guitar is actually slipping, so I should watch that. But that guitar is absolutely beautiful piece of work. Even the shoes. Look at those shoes. And stockings. And this is a very popular style of dressing. I even see this style of dressing at some of the private schools here in Taliban, and the girls have these up to almost just under the knee stockings. And there, the little pleated skirt. It really is just beautiful. I was so happy to get this. So, there's that piece, which I really love. Let's push that over there. And that's told you as much as I can. Mio Akiyama. That's as good as I can get it. Now, what else? One of the people that came, and he came and stayed with us for a few weeks, and he endeared himself to everyone that met him, and that was Wilbert. And Wilbert came. At first he didn't like to be seen on camera, but later he relented a little bit on that. But he brought me a very special gift, which I will show you. Now, you may have seen this gift once before, but it's a Harley Davidson Harley Davidson look-alike, and it's a frog. And the frog, let me see, what has he got? King of the Road. And look at those great big balloon tires. Now, that would be, just as a static piece, that would be wonderful, but it's not a static piece. And I actually play this every day, and I'm going to play it right now. You press on the hand.
Get your motor running, head up for the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way, fun to be wild, fun to be wild.
I'll have to give you another go through that.
adventure in whatever comes our way. Born to be wild, born to be wild.
Now, playing that for you will mean that I have a copyright claim on this video, but what the heck. I thought that was fun. I actually play that every day. Such is my childlike humour. And this is a nice piece that I got. This is from Mr. and Mrs. O. And it's the Buddha. Let me see if there's any information on this. I don't think so, but of course it's a genuine thing. So that's a particularly nice piece as well. I did get another piece that was from David, and that's this one. Let's put it there where we can actually, maybe we can see it best there. Now, this will definitely be a character. How can I show that better? If I put that up there and then put this here, there we go, that's better. Now, I don't know what this character is. It's very highly detailed. Now all of these parts, they're all made to slot together, and they do so perfectly. There are places, and there's a place in Manila which I went to with my son, and I also went back with Beth, and we looked at the wonderful models, and they're all put together. The standard of artwork is so great, really beautiful on pretty well everyone that I saw. I didn't see any shoddy work at all, so not sure what this would be. This is, well, it looks like he's got the power pack in the chest, a little bit like Iron Man. And that looks like a belt. That's a utility belt for doing all kinds of magical things. And he has, what does he have there? Not quite sure what that silver buckle is. It might be something to do with assembling him. But it looks like a utility belt, and that would be a perfect place for the join for the top half to the bottom half. But if you look how detailed, how sharp the lines are, this is beautiful. Look, tiny hands, but they've got that aggressive, he's in a fight stance. Look at that. I didn't have to do anything with this. This was all already assembled. It's already assembled and painted. Beautiful. Thank you, David. So there's a couple of things that have become my stuff. And maybe I will find out who Mio Akiyama really is. Maybe. But if I don't, it's okay, because it won't diminish the pleasure of looking at this model every day and seeing that absolutely perfect guitar. Look at that. I just love it. Okay, thanks for looking in, taking a flight of fancy. Somebody asked me if I would show the contents of my, I think they call them man bags, but for me it's a utility bag because it contains so many of the things which are associated with our job. So thank you for looking in and for sharing this time with me. This is A Foreigner in the Philippines, looking at my stuff. You can like, comment and subscribe, and you can share.